Yeah. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for being
Hi,
here.
how are you?
Thank
Welcome back, Miss Leah.
you, Brian. I hope all of you are doing well. Steve asked me about Hurricane Helene, so I've been going down a tangent. But now we will focus on district awards. It's 10:04, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And this is going to be an overview. We could talk about awards for 8 hours. So what I'm going to do is give you so I intend for this session to be about 1 hour long for us to wrap up by 11 a.m. So I'm going to give you an overview of the different types of awards. Hopefully I'll answer all of your questions. And then I would like for us to brainstorm at the end about what you can do for your club that may not be tied to district or international awards, because there's a lot we can do to recognize our folks. That doesn't have to take a lot of money, but can help them feel like they have purpose. And that's the whole point of awards, I believe. I'm going to share my screen here. First of all, welcome everybody. What I would like you to do is to put your name and your club name in the chat, and I will be taking that information and picking one of you to give a free district padfolio. I'll mail it to you. So we have these new leather padfolios. I do not have one here, or I would show you, but you guys know a leatherette padfolio. It's black and it has the embossed Kiwanis, Carolinas District logo on it. And it would be nice for you guys to have for your club meetings. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So I will go through a few things and then I will check the chat. If you have questions, you most certainly can put them in the chat, but you can also just pipe up while I'm in the section. It's very hard for me to monitor both the chat room and discuss the awards. So if we're in a section and you have a question or an idea, I would prefer you just to pipe up. Don't raise your hand, just turn it off mute and pipe up, and we will answer it right then and there. So again, today we're talking about awards and recognition. Okay, so there are really 4 or 5, depending on how you look at this, areas for awards and recognition from Kiwanis. We have our district, we have Kiwanis International, and then we have both of the foundations, the Children's Fund and the Carolinas District Foundation. And then, of course, you have your club. So what we're going to do today is look at these in the different order, and I'll explain to you why some things have changed. Stop share and pull up the website so you can see where we're going. So just this morning, Zoom decided to change everything. So it's taking me a moment to figure this out. Share. Okay, now I'm going to go here. Does everyone see the our district website?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so where do you go to find our district awards? You would come to our district website. You can use this is the Kiwanis International URL to our website. You can also type in carolinakiwanis.org and it will get you here. But officially, because we have the free site from Kiwanis International, they give us this name because K04 is the Carolinas District's key number, and then .site.kiwanis.org. Either that or carolinakiwanis.org will get you right here. And then you would hit resources, district awards. I'm gonna hit that. It'll take you right to this page of all the different awards we have currently. So the areas that I find that people have the most questions about are both the Distinguished Club Award that you see here, which you can click here for the criteria and to click to submit your application. The awards are due today, November 15th. I wanted to have this awards webinar around the beginning of the year, around October 1st. And as we all know, that's when Helene hit. So that threw a huge monkey wrench in my life plans. So now we're doing it today strategically on November 15th. So I can answer any of your questions you might have. And I have been looking into the number of submissions. And I will tell you that we are going to extend the award recognition submissions through November 30th. So you can go back to your club and any awards that you've heard about today, you will have another 2 weeks to submit for. But the Distinguished Club Award is one that I get a lot of questions about. And down here, the Interclub Award or the Interclub patches. So last year and a few years, for a few years now, the Kiwanis International turned the Distinguished Club Award criteria over to the districts. So we created our own criteria, and that's what you can find here. And I'm going to bring it up for you. So for Distinguished Club purposes for this past year, you are submitting according to these criteria. Next year, for this current year, as you're going along through the year, Kiwanis International took it back over again, and now we will be submitted and using their criteria. So it's a little different this year. We have kept ours in line for the past 4 years or so. They haven't changed much. And now there's going to be a huge change because we're moving over to the Kiwanis International criteria. But I will tell you it's quite familiar or similar to ours. Okay, so this is what was due by today, and now I'm extending through November 30th. We set this award up, the Distinguished Club Award, to have it possible for any size club to receive this award. You can be a club of 5 members, or you can be a club of 200 members, and you could have set up a strategy to complete these criteria. We tried to put it in different categories. So training, membership growth, impact on your community, supporting your division, supporting the district, and supporting our global organization. So you see those 6 different areas here. And under each of them, you had to do either one of the things under them or something. So for section 2, if you had net growth last year, that's all you had to say. Okay, we grew +2, so we've completed number 2. Or if you didn't, or you were worried that you might not have growth for the year, you could have done all 5 of these things. So create or maintain a vision statement or a strategic plan, form a membership committee, encourage every member to recruit at least 1 new member, host at least 1 membership drive, and conduct the orientation of all your new members. All very easily attainable to do if you did it consistently. We ask that you do at least one of the following to have impact on your community. A was to participate in the Governor's Challenge, which we can go over if you'd like. B was to sponsor at least one of our service leadership programs. or the kind of programs that are attached to it, like Bring Up Grades and Terrific Kids or Key Leader, um, and award a scholarship to a student in your community. So at least one of those. We thought that was very doable. Four was to support your division by doing at least one of these four things. Attend a division council meeting created by your lieutenant governor, sponsor a new club, or participate in a new club opening. Have a member serve as a club coach, a new club opener, a lieutenant governor elect, trustee governor elect, governor, or immediate past governor. So what was that about? That's about getting people engaged on the division or district level. Or number four, obtain the interclub patch award. And that has to do with going to visit all the clubs in your division. So that's how it supports your division. Five was supporting the district by donating to either the foundation or the Boys and Girls Homes at Lake Waccamaw, attending one of our conferences mid-year in Raleigh, or the district convention that we just had in Greenville, South Carolina, or have a member serve as a district committee chair, a district committee member, or as a trustee. And then number six was to support our global organization, either donating to the Children's Fund or attending the International Convention. All right, do we have any questions? I'm going to stop the share so I can interact with y'all. Do you have any questions about our distinguished club criteria from last year, or any comments? Okay. Well, if you think of one as we move along, we will take you. Jeff, did you have one?
No, I was saying I'm good.
Okay. Okay, great. So I'll go back to sharing my screen. Let's see here. Let's just share desktop. It's easiest. Okay, so now we are going to move on to the international awards. Oh, well, let me show you some more about the district. I apologize. Do you guys see the district awards screen again?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. Okay, so each year the governor wants to do a little bit more with the members other than just our Distinguished Club Award. So what we've created over the years is what's called the Governor's Challenge. So the Governor's Challenge is a little bit harder than Distinguished Club. It's above and beyond. So this past year's criteria included, because we were in the 23-24 year, adding new members in the equivalent of 24% of the club's official October 1st number. Or chartering a new service leadership program. So you had to do one of these two, or you had to do at least two of these, which was initiate a new service project for children under age 5, initiate a service project for children that were already in school, so above age 5, concerning mental health, literacy, or nutrition, because those are along the lines that the Children's Fund has set up for their grant programs. Increase support of the Children's Fund itself and the district foundation by 5% of your previous donation, or have at least 2 members attend 2 division council meetings that your lieutenant governor would have hosted. So this application is also due, or was due, by November 15th, and we'll open it up through November 30th. So if you can do these, we do suggest you go ahead and submit. And what you'll be receiving is a patch that'll look like Racing to Service for Kids, and it'll say Governor's Challenge 23-24 on it. Any questions about the Governor's Challenge? All right. We have quite a few other awards in our district. We have Distinguished Guardian. Again, Distinguished Club and Kiwanis are being taken over by Kiwanis International. Ours and theirs is a little it's less cumbersome than Distinguished Club. We have in ours to complete 5 criteria. I believe they have only 2 or 3 criteria, and we'll look at that soon. But for this year, it's to sponsor a new member, improve a club in at least one of the following ways to serve, basically in some way. So as a board member, as a Kiwanis advisor, or serving on a committee. We feel every Kiwanian should do that. Participate in the service project and fundraisers for the year, and attend at least one of the following events. So that's the hardest one, I believe, to go above and beyond your club and go to a division level, district, or international level conference or meeting, and to contribute to the different foundations, one of them at least, either your clubs, the Carolinas District Foundation, or the Children's Fund. So you can go ahead and submit these on our website now, and we will be awarding these at the mid-year conference that we'll be having in Myrtle Beach. And then if you are not in Myrtle Beach, after the conference, I will mail out the packets to the clubs. And for this, the member receives a distinguished pen and a certificate that says they are a distinguished Kiwanian and has their name. So we have some other awards at the club level for recognizing long-term, long-serving members. So the Herb Henning Award is for those secretaries that have served at least 3 years as district secretary or as club secretary. This is Herb Henning. He was a district secretary. That's where my slip up was, but have served a long time as a club secretary. And we have here the criteria and application process. It's basically to submit letters from your club and the community supporting that this person has done a lot for the club and the community. Same thing for just 2 years ago, we created the Bill Clingfield Club Treasurer Award because we felt many clubs have these 2 positions separate. So we wanted to do something for the club treasurer as well as the club secretary.
Leah, question.
Sure, Brian.
All right, so with these 2 awards for the secretary and the treasurer, if you submit them, okay, like when we submit these for the awards and everything, how many do you actually choose? Is it just 1 per district?
Yes, 1 per district
Oh.
per year. So once you've submitted someone, if they don't receive it, they stay in nomination.
Also, they don't have to redo it then.
Do not.
Well, what's the verify that once they submit it the first time and they don't win, that it's still in the running? You know what I'm saying? Like who's still listed that's available. So what I'm saying, how can we verify that, in other words?
Well, you would email me to see if we've received a nomination on someone.
Gotcha. All right, too easy. Thank you, ma'am.
I try to make it easy, Brian.
I'm glad you do.
But I try to make it as easy as I can.
All right, I really appreciate that.
Yes, because we just want to recognize those long-serving people. These are not easy jobs. And we recognize that while the club president is a very integral part of our organization, and without a good club president, it's very hard to have a good club. We also recognize that without a good secretary and treasurer, the president cannot do the job they're supposed to do. But we also have outstanding club president. That kind of goes into what you were asking about how many we give. We will only pick 1 outstanding club president for the year. And it's based first on if you're distinguished. But you, as a lieutenant governor, you will choose one. So for your division and submit that to me if we receive any. And then those come out at the district convention. So once I get any of those applications, Brian, they would come to you as the lieutenant governor of last year, and you would look at those and submit one to me. But that would be at your level. You would show that or let at a division council meeting know who got it at the division level. So essentially, there could be up to 21 in the district, and then one of those 21 is given for the year. But first, the club has to be distinguished to submit for outstanding. We also have a newsletter award, club website award, which we probably need to move over to a social media award. But I will tell you right now, there's a really challenging problem that we're having with Facebook. Many Facebook sites are being closed because they're using the Kiwanis International logo, and they won't. It's AI bots that Facebook has set up, and they're erroneously closing our club's Facebook's page. They've even erroneously closed a few international pages, and we can't get any help. There's no one to talk to. Kiwanis International is aware of the problem and trying to solve it. So for the moment, we're going to stick with the club website award. And then we have a division project award. So if your division has done something altogether, we encourage you to submit that. I will say in the past, an award that we have chosen would be the Division 12's Dictionary Project Award, something along those lines, where you all get together to make a change in your division. It can be in a specific local area, or it can be spread out amongst all your clubs doing something targeted specifically for that town, but done by the division level. We have a life member award where it is 15 times the now dues of $60 per member. So it is a little heftier than it used to be. But if you want to recognize someone that has all the other awards in Kiwanis, this is a great one to give them, is a life membership into the Carolinas district. So they will never pay dues again. That one also can be done individually. You don't have to wait for your club to submit your name. You can, if you would like to be a Carolinas District Life member, you can do it yourself. It does require either the club president or secretary's signature, or my signature as district secretary. We have an Eagle Membership Award that has to do with our net growth and percentage growth in the district. So the top club each year receives that award. And it's based on our September 30 membership numbers, which can be confusing. So if you don't know what your official number is, you can email me and I'd be happy to give that to you. Your lieutenant governor also has that when we send them the membership comparison report each year, or I'm sorry, each month. It's in the September column. We also have a new club opener award. We have a service award that has to do with service hours per member. So it's not based on your club size. Well, it is. We have three categories, but we've done this so that a small club is not competing against a 100 member club or a 60 member club. It's based on the number of service hours per member. And for this award, we have a lot of, I don't want to say controversy. We have a lot of discussion, I'd say, around what is a service hour? Does it include service to your club? So can you include the hours that a club secretary, say, or club treasurer or your president puts into getting all the work done for Kiwanis. And for this award specifically, it does not. This would be only the service done for the community.
Hey, Miss Leah,
Yes.
you are so correct about the service hours thing. Depending on who you talk to, how to do the service hours, I mean, it would be great if we could get one standard across the board. And I know it's difficult. I know it is because you get one reaction from one person saying how to do the service hours or possibility, but there's no right or wrong. But then again, then how do you truly gauge the amount of service hours that we actually do? That's always the question. Because if there's no strict guidance, then how can you determine that the amount of service hours that we presenting is correct? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I see what you're saying, but I also see what they're saying in that I'm trying to remember exactly what she said to me. If we can take money from the service account for education purposes, why
Mhm.
can't we include all the work we do to make our clubs great toward service? Because if we're not well functioning, we can't do the service, right? So
Correct.
that's the other argument to it. So it's very hard for me it, because everyone but me is a volunteer. They see their purpose and they're helping their club at service because it is their purpose. It is what they do
Correct.
best, that club secretary and that club treasurer, or
Correct.
that club board member, president. So I understand. So what we are starting to do for awards purposes is once I see the number of service hours for those top 5 or so, I will be investigating with them and saying, okay, what in here is service hours for your community and what isn't, before we find out who will receive the Anna Mae Smith Award. And I will tell you,
Okay.
it's on the honor system, Brian. Everything in Kiwanis is. There's no way for me to, and there's no way for Kiwanis International even to verify that the hours that our secretaries put in is correct and for specifically community service. The old definition that we gave had to do with what the IRS chose for service to be. So that's where we are.
That's and that's great because I had one secretary, she contacted me and I was trying to explain it the best I could. And then finally, of course, I said, well, if you want to know more, if you really want the answer, contact Leah and she'll explain everything. So, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and as you get, this is the new leadership team we have now. So I'm just wondering what answer will you be able to give all the new secretaries a definite? Because you got now one secretary that I did talk to, she's been a secretary for a couple of years,
Mhm.
and then it didn't really become um, um, relevant until Governor Donner was in, and he was talking about increasing service hours. So then I got her wheels spinning, and then she was still not quite sure on how to really capture the hours and then what would be considered service hours to record versus not. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you may have some still come to you.
Yeah. And that's no worries. I'll have people coming to me forever, Brian, because our people
Mhm.
turn over all the time. But we did discuss this on the secretary's training module that I did live. And I did say we could start including, if they want, it's up to them, their club service, that their, if they feel it's necessary that their people are doing for their club. Now, what Donnie's talking about, and what I would hope all of us would consider is, the heart of the matter is, we don't want that service hour just to go up like before you didn't include those and now you're going to. So, whoa, look, we increased our service hours. That's not what we were looking for. What we were looking for was a heartfelt, we have to help our communities more than we are, even if it's just a little bit. So, how can we do a little bit more every year for our communities? So, that was the idea there. We will always continue to want to do more service hours, at least maintain and do one more thing, right? Because the kids in our communities need us now more than ever. Mental health problems are on the rise, not just for adults, but even now they're saying our boys are having a really much harder time than our girls mentally, because they don't know how to voice that. It's a taboo, not only on mental health, but then mental health for boys on top of it. As a male, it's even harder. Okay,
Leah, I've got a question real quick about that. So if our Kiwanis members are participating and working with, say, a Key Club, those get counted as volunteer hours.
definitely.
But the hours that they spend as president or whatever, or head of a committee gets counted separately.
It
Is that
will
right?
Anna Mae Smith Award.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That cleared up for you, Vicky?
Yes, thanks.
Perfect. So the last award I'm going to talk about at the district level is our Interclub Award. And this, first, we will have patches. We haven't had them in the past for years because I have to become even more creative than I am, and I haven't figured it out yet. So this is what the patch looked like in the past, and it included the year on it. What I'm probably going to have to do is do the patch and do chevrons underneath with the years on it. Because what's happened is I haven't got a lot of clubs to participate in the Interclub award. So the way this works is your club secretary on their monthly report reports if you've done an interclub. And if you do interclubs with every club in your division, you earn the interclub patch. In the past few years, that has been only a handful. I'm talking 5 clubs. And with only 5 clubs, I can't afford to buy the patches. It's like $100 for 5 patches. So we can't really, that's not good use of our money. So what I think I'm going to do is go back to the old system of having the one large patch and then buying chevrons. So it is still going to cost me a lot of money. I don't know. I've got to figure out how to create an award patch for small amounts of people.
Well, question, Leah.
Yes.
Why is that patch so much? The cost.
Because you can't buy individual patches. So when you get, so in the past I would buy 50 and it would be $100, right? So it would be $2 a patch. Now they're like, if you do one, they don't want to do one. You have to set it up. You have to pay a setup fee. Every time you
That's
change
crazy.
something, you pay a new setup fee. So I have to figure out how to get them in bulk, but also get whatever the small thing is in bulk. And
And
because
that's coming from KI?
no, KI doesn't do interclub patches.
Okay.
So I have to get this on our own.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe if I saw if maybe that's the route I go is I talk to all the other districts and see if we could all agree on one patch, and then I get it for all the districts and then they pay me for theirs. Again,
Yes.
much more work on my end,
Well,
but that might be the way I have to go with that, Brian. That's a good idea. But anyway, that's how you get an interclub patch is you visit all the other clubs in your division. And many people ask me how to get the club officer names. we used to offer a link at the bottom of CD News. We can't do that anymore because of security purposes and the bots that are out there in the world. They sometimes get on people's computers and find information, even though it's only a link that goes to our club members. So, what we have to do now is I have a Google Sheet that is live with our club officers' contact information. And should you want to do interclubs, all you have to do is email me and I will send you that link personally so that you can get to those club officer names so that you can contact them to do your interclubs. And then the club that does the most interclubs for the year, in the past that has been like 40 or 50, they've done one interclub a week, gets the interclub award for the year.
So the lieutenant governor for our division also has that information on the officers and the different clubs, right?
They can get it, yes. They can get it online through the Kiwanis Connect dashboard. They also can get the link that you get to my information. At the beginning of the year, Vicky, I'd say they're the same. But then if a club secretary doesn't maintain that information, Kiwanis Internationals won't change. It's supposed to, but because they don't update it, they being each individual club, it doesn't change. Mine is live. It changes almost weekly. So as I find out email bounces or I call someone and I find out the information, we change ours. So ours, as the year goes on, is much more accurate than Kiwanis International.
Okay.
So, but you
But-
can ask for it through the lieutenant governor too. They generally have asked it from me and have my link.
Okay. Okay.
So either one of us should work. If they don't, they generally just come to me too. So, okay. Any question on district awards? We are at 10:40, so I want to kind of breeze through the rest and get any ideas y'all have. But I'm happy to
Mhm.
answer any question about district award.
I think you pretty much covered everything that I had questions about earlier, which you was on top of it. So I
Okay.
think we're good.
Let's share my screen. Now we're going to go on to international awards. I am going to do these pretty quickly. International and the Children's Fund. So let's see here. Okay. So many people have trouble with the Kiwanis International website to find things. So the way I found this page for awards and recognition was I went to Kiwanis.org and then I clicked this search thing and I just entered awards. I never remember the recognition part. So I just do awards. I hit enter and it's going to bring up this screen. And for some reason, they put scholarships always come up first. You want this one, awards and recognition. And then what it's going to bring to you is all the different awards that Kiwanis International has, not the foundation, but international. And the ones that I think you're going to be most interested in are these top 4. So we have the Ruby K Award, where if you have a member that has brought in 5 members over the lifetime span of them being a member, not just in 1 year, you can submit an application here and Kiwanis International will send you a little pen. Let's see if it's on the application. A picture of it. Nope, they got rid of it. It's a gold pen with the Kiwanis emblem and a ruby. I don't believe it's a real ruby. But this is a great one for you to have your secretary comb through your records to see how many people, and then do this as a special presentation for several of your members at the same time. So you can go back through the lifetime of that person. And I do believe it's on the honor system. So you're going to enter the person's name. You need your key number, the number of members sponsored, and who you want the award to be mailed to, shipped to. But they're not going to go back through the files and confirm that they had 5, 10, 15, 20. This is just for recognition purposes. That's a Ruby K. And then, as I said, Kiwanis International has started taking over Distinguished Club, even though it says 22, 23, that was for districts, not for clubs. For clubs, it's starting in 24, 25. So I want to take a look at that with you because it's something you need to get started on now. What I like about this award is that you, in the past, when Kiwanis International had Distinguished Club, you had to grow, absolutely had to grow in order to get it, to have a net, not just grow, but have net
Your
growth.
coffee's out there.
Now you do not. You have to get 100 points. The hardest part of this is for small clubs. If you are over 15 members, if you create a plan and you follow it, you can get this award. If you are under 15 members, it's a little harder because you have to be at least at charter strength by the end of the year to get this award. But I would still say that the areas that they have listed are perfect for a club to achieve excellence. So if your club doesn't have a strategic plan in place, looking over this distinguished award criteria, club award criteria, is perfect for you to create a strategic plan of what to do this year and strive for in the next 3 years. And they're all very doable. So say you don't believe you guys can recreate it all, do all the membership stuff. Say you create a membership plan. Everybody can do that. Say you don't believe you can recruit 4 members, have a net gain of 2 members, or sponsor a new Kiwanis Club. We recognize those are challenging, but you can definitely have a plan. You can definitely appoint a membership chair. You can definitely complete one of the Achieving Club Excellence tools. And they have like 15 of them. So you see where you are. You're like, oh, this is the area our club has challenges with, and you follow their plan. It's not based on whether you are successful with the plan. It just says you're going to complete one. So you do that. And when it says self-reported, that means that you're going to check at the end of the year that you did it. It's on the honor system. So those 3 things are very doable. If you do those 3 things and you do everything else on the Distinguished Club criteria, you will reach 100 points. And that's what you have to be distinguished next year. So, and you have to be in good standing. What does that mean? That means you pay your dues on time. So if you pay your dues on time, which I believe is very reasonable to ask, that means you pay your dues by November 30th, or they'll even cut you slack to December 30th if you're having problems. And you do these things, which are all action oriented and not product oriented. So you don't have to have a net gain. You will become distinguished.
All right,
Now,
quick question.
yes, Brian, good.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
So, and you may have said this and I might have missed it, but do you have to be distinguished at the district level to be recognized at the international level?
So starting this year, we don't have a district level anymore. It'll be theirs.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Understood.
Yeah, we're not gonna, our Carolinas decided we would just go with theirs. I always try to keep finances in, I can't see y'all right now, so my computer did something. Always keep finances in mind. And if Kiwanis International is going to offer a program that we didn't see a need for two, especially since I believe it's reasonable and that everybody can do it. Now, in the future, we might come up with a small lob recognition program because I don't think I understand the need for getting clubs up to charter strength, but 20% of our clubs are below charter strength, and I don't want to leave them out of the loop. So we're going to see what happens this year, and we might go into something else. But for right now, we're only using their distinguished program.
Sounds great.
Now,
Makes sense.
I will say, Distinguished Club was taken over by them, and Distinguished Kiwanian is taken over by them. So we're going to go back to their criteria list. Oh, it's the same sheet. Okay, so if we scroll down, I am not going to go over each and every area of this plan because of time. It's 10:50. Why is it not loading?
Can I ask a quick question? On
Yes.
on 2.1, each of those 4 people have to participate in order to get the 10 points. Say the club president does that. Without the other 3, you don't get the 10 points, right?
Yeah, you will lose the 10. But Vicky, I'm going to tell
All
you,
4 of them.
lenient on this. They want you, this was supposed to be by this past September 30th. They have videos online. They're 1 hour long. You go take them now.
Hmm.
You just go watch
So-
it and be on the honor system with me.
Like, was this sort of thing count also?
No.
Okay.
Now it will, this sort of thing, as far as like, I'm going to put up the secretary training on our website. If they watch that, that would count. So the specific ones.
Okay.
Oneness International has 4 different areas on their website for training these 4 people.
Hmm.
And if these people did not go to our mid-year or district convention, but they go watch those videos, we will accept it for that 10 points.
Okay.
Other districts will say you can't do it now, and I'm saying you can. So if you haven't done it yet, I believe in mercy. I believe y'all are all volunteers. If you watch it now, I'll give you the 10 points, but you have to go watch it.
Through November 30th, right?
No, this one is next year.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Mhm. So sometime soon would be good, since, you're taking a training for working this year currently. But yeah, I don't want you to take it in September as the club president that already did their whole year. That kind of doesn't make any sense. But
Totally.
any other questions about the distinguished club criteria before I move on to distinguished member? Okay, so distinguished member, you saw what I had. We had 5 criteria. They have whittled it down to 3, but it's a little harder. You have to sponsor at least 2 new members during the administrative year. You have to participate in 2 projects of your home club. I think that's pretty easy. And you see there, it doesn't say service or fundraising. It's whatever your club's doing. And then you have to attend a meeting. It says district, regional, or Kiwanis International Convention. So the regional here is for Europe and Asia. We don't have regional here in the United States. So they have to either come to the district convention, which would be in Asheville this summer, or they have to go to the international convention, which will be in Pittsburgh. So it's very doable. It's drivable this year. And then what will happen? They will get another certificate. It'll be from Kiwanis International President Lee Kuan Yew. And then they will get a recognition distinguished pen. And it'll look different than the one we had. It'll look a lot like our normal Kiwanis pen, and it'll say distinguished. And then a little harder, and something we're going to go over with the lieutenant governor's distinguished division. In order for a lieutenant governor to be distinguished, he has to get 66% of the clubs to do this. That's 2/3. So we're going to work hard with them to do that. And then for our district to be distinguished, We have to get 50% of the clubs to do this. Now, I will tell you, I don't know that's possible. My brain has not gone there. And usually it, I see 20% of clubs reach distinguished status. So we're going to hit this hard throughout the year. You're going to see a lot of different webinars around the different sections on this report, and you're going to see a lot in CD News about this because, you know, I agree with them. We need 50% of our clubs to be where this is, what's asked on these criteria. It's really hard to do. So I'd love your support in getting those done. Okay, we have 2 more areas and 5 minutes left. So I'm going to ask you to do your due diligence and look at the Kiwanis Children's Fund. They have some areas of recognition, and the Carolinas District Foundation. And those areas of recognition have to do with your club submitting money to receive an award for them. For example, there's the George F. Hickson Award, which is $1,000 that you can give to a member of your club in recognition for all that they've done. I will tell you, when you give an award from the International Foundation, that amount of money that you spend goes towards your amount for that $10 per person for the different, the distinguished level, and for if you want to become an impact club at the International Foundation. We will have an International Foundation webinar coming up in January. So if you have any questions about International Foundation Awards, which now they call it Children's Fund, you can ask them of John Hethcoxton. What I want to do is get any suggestions y'all might have for awards you would like to see at the district level, and to also help you think outside of the box at the club level. So you can create your own awards. If these awards don't feel like they're for you, your club can create. Your club could have a club president recognition award, and your club could pick someone from your club to be that, or a Kiwanian of the Year. You could also do something very simple, either annually or monthly, and you could have what's called the You Rock Award, and you can find a beautiful rock, or you could go outside and find a big rock and paint it and have everybody sign it with one of those Sharpie pens and give it to a member once a month and pass it along for just whatever you want to recognize them for doing something good because they rock, right? And you give them the rock, and then they could have it at their office, or at their home, wherever. They could take it to Key Club meetings, something to hold the door open, right? And then they bring it back the next month, and then they could nominate someone or present it to someone else who they think is doing a great job in the club. Another easy thing you can do is give people pennies. And you will find that they will keep that penny forever, but you recognize them. You say, this is only a penny, but I want to recognize you. You think what you did was small, but it's quite large. And you give them the penny and then recognize them for what they did in your club. And you'll find that they will glue it. You can glue it to like a, gosh, I just lost the word. Business card that you can get very cheaply from companies like Vistaprint. But you give them the penny, and then you suggest that they pass it on to someone else in Kiwanis that they recognize doing something they think is small but means a lot to you. So do you guys have any awards you would like to share that you do at your club level that others might like? Or any suggestions or any questions?
We just did yesterday a Kiwanian of the Year,
Yes.
We had a very active member that passed away about 5 years ago, so they named the award after him. So it's the John Greer Kiwanian of the Year Award. They, take nominations, and then the committee reviews all of that. And it was a big surprise for him. We had his picture, and the person that received it last year was the one that actually presented him with the award and that sort of stuff.
That's really nice, Vicky. I like that you named it after a longtime Kiwanian because sometimes, we can't afford that George Hickson $1,000 award. And doing something like that to get their name into your club and basically be in perpetuity really honors them. That's a great idea.
And they got a plaque that was like, I don't know, $80 or $90, that listed their name on it and what the title was, that sort of thing.
That's very nice. I should probably do some research on plaques and awards. I know there's some really nice looking awards out there that you can get for like $15. So I'm going to put that down to do research for your club. So it looks like it's worth $100, but you only spend less money. I'm going to look into that.
That's awesome.
Lee, the Southport Club, years back, pre-COVID, we were doing the annual charter dinner in February. Only about less than 40% of the members actually attended it. It was still well attended, but because we have a fairly decent sized club. But we would give out a Kiwanian of the Year, and then one of the members was recognized years ago. He passed away, Chris Page, who was president of the club, but was very engaged in bringing in new programs. They recognized a Lifetime Achievement Award, but it was actually given to someone who left the club. When I got on the board, I actually asked them to modify it to recognize somebody who's been there a long time. We shouldn't wait until somebody dies or somebody's left the club to recognize them. So we give it, say, Peggy McDonald picked it out. It's a special bronzy looking thing. Personally, I don't want to get it, but that's okay. But it was, it's a nice recognition. And, but I think that we moved it now because of COVID. When we finally able to get back together, we actually combined it with our scholarship winner awards. And we now have a barbecue, and we invite all of the kids who come and their families. And we have it at an outdoor place. It's covered, in St. James. And we wind up with probably 250 people at it. So it works out really well. And I would recommend doing that. I think that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, maybe where you present your scholarships, so you not only have your Kiwanians, but you have people from your community, the families that are receiving those scholarships helps. That's
yes,
great.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's a good idea.
So I think there's a lot of different ways to do that. I would recommend, though, for the district retreat that we've talked about for the board, that we actually do discuss the service award thing. I don't think it should be that difficult, not service award, but service hours, or how do we list that? I don't think it should be that difficult for us to come up with a criteria and send it out to everybody, because just as Brian was talking about it, everybody's doing all different things. I mean, one person wanted to list the amount of hours she put in volunteering at her church.
Right.
So I mean, those type of things. I think it wouldn't be that hard.
It's not that hard. It's very clear. It's just that it's not hard. It's clear and simple. It's that they get upset when we cut off what they can do. So,
well, I wouldn't make it anything personal. I would just say, hey, there's always been questions about service hours, and here's the from KI and from our district, this is what we recognize as service hours. I know what you're saying before, like, if you serve, like we put down club committees, we put down if you're on membership committee, should that be considered as hours? And yes, it's service to the club. But when you're talking about service hours for, like when Donnie asked us to increase service hours, you're also talking about increasing service to the community. those are the hours that you're referring to. And that's what
Right.
I think we have to clarify for everybody. That's what we're looking at.
Yes, so maybe we could be clearer about our goal and what
Yeah.
that increase is. That would be easy. Asking someone to not submit hours for what they're doing towards your club offends them. And honestly, it can be the straw that breaks the camel's back and they leave. And we don't want
Yeah.
people to leave over this.
Well, I thought the one criteria was that it has to be approved by the board of directors of that club.
Yes. And
Okay,
that's
so that's fine. That's fine.
right. So, but I did want to mention one other idea that Steve brought up, and then it will be time for us to wrap up because we are a little over time. But he mentioned giving something to a member that might not be at the club anymore or might have recently left the club. I would suggest to y'all, we have a lot of members in our district now that are over 80 years old. And because of health reasons or because their family has taken away their autonomy and put them in a home, they can't be in Kiwanis anymore. But you can do something that's very cheap but nice and make them an honorary member. And an honorary member in your club costs $8 a year. And what it does is keeps them in the loop. In the past, they still received the Kiwanis magazine. As you know now, it's not affordable for the international office to do that magazine. They've come out with it's not even a magazine. It's like a pamphlet now. It comes out once a year. But what it also does, we are in the age of technology and they're probably still on their phone. It will keep them in the Kiwanis loop of the Kiwanis information that comes out. And you can say you are still an honorary member. So it keeps them feeling like, even though that autonomy is taken away from them, you believe they should still be a Kiwanian. And it does wonders. So I would suggest doing that for our members that don't have a choice to leave for health reasons or because their family has moved them into a home.
Our honorary members also get the newsletter that goes out twice a week from our club.
Yes, very good. And I would suggest, if you can, if people leave, and you, even if you don't designate them as honorary, until they tell you to take them off your newsletter list, you leave them on there. Definitely. Because keeping them in the loop might bring them back in the future.
True.
All right, guys, unless there are any other questions, that will wrap up for our awards webinar. I do appreciate you being here. I have started on the reminder emails telling you the webinars that are coming down the road. I do not have that in front of me right now, but I believe one of the next ones will be about Key Leader and what that program consists of and what we'll be doing this coming year. So we hope to see you on the next webinar coming up toward in the next few weeks.
Yeah, well, they say the key leader is the 19th.
Key Leaders the 19th. And then
Yep.
after that, I believe, is Key Club.
Okay,
And
I've got
then
a question.
December 3rd is Kiwanis Foundation.
So, can we invite the faculty advisors of the Key Club to attend these?
Yes, you can share the link with anyone.
Okay,
Sure. Definitely.
okay.
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 Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to be here, especially right in the middle of your day. It was the only time I had available, so I do appreciate it. We will get this up on the website soon, and that will I will push that through CD News when those are up, and then you can share them with your club members to watch the recording. So have a great day.
And we
Thank
hope you
you.
get your trees taken care of soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.